Hello everybody, this is Josh X Play Place, and today we continue to grow, expand and improve our city of Port Austin in Cities Skylines 2 in this episode number 17. So let's begin. In our previous episode, we created this low density residential area that you can see it's not growing yet because there's no demand for any residential zoning. But as demand increases, we will have enough space for it to be met, for the demand to be met. And as you can see, everything here is zoned already, so we are good to go. I will continue to add a little bit more commercial zoning in here because we are in need of that a lot. So let's do that really quick in here. And I think this area will develop rather nicely, especially because what I want to do is to add some medium density row housing in this area. So basically, usually what we have been doing in here is just to have blocks of 12 squares wide, basically, as you can see in all of these things, right? Usually the depth of building for the zoning, for example, the commercial, residential, office and industrial is only 6, and whenever of course it's a square, or like in this area, it's gonna be 12, right? If you have 13, you're gonna have spaces in between, and that can be good or bad. As you can remember, in my City Skylines 1 cities, I started doing areas like this in the corners of the intersections, and sometimes I did leave a little space in the middle with a walkway, a fence, and trees. Unfortunately, we don't have nice fences or fences at all. We also only have one kind of walkway of and so we might want to try to do it later, but I think for now that's good enough. So I think we should do something in here that will have medium density row housing, and let me show you really quick. So as you can see in here, we have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, but I'm gonna put a walkway, or I know we do have these little alley roads, but I think that walkways work a little bit better, and don't create more weird traffic, right? So what we do is we're gonna have row housing that are only 3 squares deep, right? And whenever we zone, for example, in here, let's zone this with medium density row housing. We're not gonna zone everything. We're only gonna zone up until almost the edge, because that will stop the game from building from here all the way here in different sizes. That's very important. I know we really didn't care about it that much whenever we started our city. As you can see in these areas, right, everything is kind of messy or whatever. I wish the game would have something that would align things a little bit nicer. It doesn't, but you know, that's the way that the game is. So we should be okay, at least for now, right? But I think that it's a missed opportunity in here, because I really wish things would look a little bit nicer. So let me finish adding all this medium density zoning really quick. And I added a little bit more of commercial zoning in here. Again, it's gonna be great because you have medium density, so all of this is gonna start turning greener and greener and greener. Not right away, of course, because there's not much. And I will add the medium density row housing here really quick, because we want to make sure that everything is going well. And again, the reason why we don't zone this is so that buildings don't grow on this street. Once buildings start being built on these edges, then we can come back and zone whatever's left. Back in the day, I guess it's gonna be SimCity 4, maybe SimCity 3000, I don't recall. I used to kinda leave one square next to the regular road so that I could have upgraded them to a boulevard or an avenue. And that's something that kinda work well, at least again in that game. And so we need more high density residential, and I'm just gonna add for now this square with the low rent housing. I think people are gonna enjoy living in this area. It's really nice, because what I really want to focus on is with the trams. But before that, the frontage road should have no parking, so let me fix that really quick. Okay, I think that's gonna work really well. And of course, we are having a lot of traffic because I'm more than sure there's some growth happening, at least in here. Where was? Yeah, here. Although people could use this. I don't know. Sometimes things are just weird. There's also a lot of traffic here. I know we have been trying to change this intersection, and we do need to work on it. But again, that's going to require for us to have an elevated highway here, and so that's going to change things a little bit more. And people are trying to get here, so yeah, we're going to see. Maybe this can be our first. We're going to try to do a diamond intersection. I think that's going to be an interesting one to do. I do like this, but again, sometimes I think that it doesn't work as well as it should. What we can do in here is, I don't think anybody's trying to go there. Right, everybody's trying. I don't know what they're trying to do, honestly, but and it's not that easy to figure out. But anyways, so we need to do and place down our first tram lines and our first tram depot. Let's take a look first of all at our buses, and about, what is it, 1/5, about 20% of people in this city use the buses. There's no tourists because that's a whole different issue. The usage is mostly in the blue line and in the green line, right? So I think those are the lines that we need to tackle with the trams, because at least on this one, let's add a couple more. Let's go with 15, and on the green line, let's go with 9. Let's add another. As you can see, these stops have a lot of people. This one has 900 people waiting. That's completely crazy to me. Let's take a look at it really quick. It's just crazy for me. So yeah, let's I think that we need to, let's increase to the highest number, which is 11. I wish we were able to add more, but I guess you need to add more lines to do that. And same thing in here. We'll make sure that we have enough buses in a bit. Yeah, let's do this 18. It's just, again, it's just crazy. I just can't believe it. Um, I think in our last episode we saw how this line was way longer. First of all, it's great that the people are using public transportation, right? So at least we have a win on that. Let's see where we have our bus depot, just to make sure that we have enough buses. It's here. So we need more. So let's add another upgrade. So that's gonna give us 65 buses, and we are using all of them. I think we're fine for now. If we need more, we'll place them here. The radius is good enough so that we can add them here. Right, so now we are up to 58. Again, that's fine. As long as the buses are being used, I think that is just great. So let's go back into our view with buses. And these lines, yeah, the usage went down just a little bit, which is great. And now we have the red line, which again, I have no clue where it's at, but I think it's here. Let's take a look at the green line. And it has 78 and 461. So let's add at least 3 more. Right, that should be able to help. And then we have lines that apparently aren't being used, which is the orange line. Which the orange line just goes from the airport into the harbor, which I think it's fine, right? It's not a big deal, at least for me at the moment. And then we have the blue line, which again goes into the, let's take a look. So we go into, yeah, the airport and into, if I'm not mistaken, the train. Yeah. Okay. So let's take a look at it really quick. So we have lines that go on the main roads. So what I want to do to begin with, again, I'm not gonna take out any bus lines for now. So the first line that we're gonna do is on this little avenue, which is not that little, and it's gonna end up in here. And I think that's gonna help people in this area, and we will have to expand we're gonna have to add another, let's do it right now, another bus stop in here. Yeah, the bus is gonna have to drive a little bit longer, but that's fine. And is there a reason why we don't have the grass? So let me do that really quick. And we're at a point, again, like I mentioned, we're at a point where we can allow ourselves to have that. There's a little issue in here. So let's try to make sure that everything's fine. So let me pause the game really quick. And I don't know what the issue, okay. So let me delete this. Okay, that didn't mess up anything that much, which I'm glad, because as you know, this gets very tricky. So that is that, and there you go. I think that works well enough. And let's go back to beautifying our city with grass, or our roads with grass, and I think that's gonna work really, really well. Right, let's just delete this just to make sure that everything's fine, so that they can rebuild. There you go, they're gonna have no issue rebuilding. And now let's take a look to see if we can add another bus. Yeah, let's do 21 buses. Okay, so we want to add a tram line in this avenue. And I want to add another tram line here with these roads that intersect our central park. And at least for now, I think that the best area to put our tram depot is gonna have to be here. Right, I think that's gonna work well enough. We are gonna have to add a tram line in here, or rails, basically, track. So let's do that. Okay, I think that's good enough, but I think this is gonna be better. There you go, and yeah, that's gonna help us a lot. Sure. Again, sometimes it gets kind of tricky to know what you're gonna do. Okay, but now we can do the full avenue, so let's do that really quick. So we're having an issue in here, so let's do that up to here. Let's delete this, and let's see if we can continue our path. There you go. I thought that we were gonna be able to do this without an issue, but apparently not. All right, so let me take this out. Maybe it's the type of roundabout. Oh, okay. We have another issue here. And let's see if changing the roundabout type helps us. Let's do this. And there you go. So basically, as long as it's not a big, or as it doesn't have a tree, we should be fine. So let's do that again. There you go. And same thing here, right? Sure. And the last thing we need to do is to basically add a track that's gonna make this go around, right? So I think that's gonna work really nice.
This is an emergency broadcast to all citizens.
So let's start adding our stops. So the first one, I think, let's try to figure out how we're gonna add our stops. You know what? Let's try to make them like in the middle. So we're gonna have a one in here and in here. Well, that one only has one, so we're fine. And yeah, let's put one in here. That should help us. And then let's try to place them here. So let me do that really quick and we'll come back. Well, we have completed our first tram line and we should see the trams coming out of the station. So I want to change the color, and again we try to change them based on what we have. So I think we're gonna do let's do the red line. And of course, again, at the beginning we are gonna see a lot of traffic.
A driving advisory has been issued for the immediate area
because
due to poor road conditions.
they're gonna be trying
Please
to
exercise caution if you must drive,
get
and try to stay off the streets until conditions improve.
to their destinations, all of them at the same time, and of course you cannot do that. So that's something that we're gonna be struggling with at the beginning. I wish we had more options for trams as we did in City Skylines 1, but I think that's gonna be a possibility. And let's take a bit and see how well this tram is gonna do. And that concludes the whole route that the red line is taking. And I think that's just really nice, really cool. And let's take a look really quick to see the land usage only 31%, which is fine. We weren't expecting it to be 100 already. And the last thing we're gonna do in this episode is to create the line that's gonna go all the way around here and connect this line with this bus line, and later it's gonna connect to the medium train station. So let's first upgrade with the tram tracks, and because we only have one road, if I'm not mistaken, that's actually one way, which are the ones here in the park. All the rest have to be only one way. So let me do that really quick. Now we've completed our second tram line, and let's change this into, start with red. Next one is gonna be, let's do the green one. I think green is gonna look really great. Again, let's change the ticket price to 3. And I didn't know, we didn't check how many trams we had, so it's 10, and this one is gonna add 5. So that's as much as we can do. Just have 15 vehicles. So that's, I think, the only route that these trams from this depot are gonna have. right? Because we are going to be using, let's see how many we have. And I think that's going to be more than enough for now. We have 5 and we have 6. So that's 11. We have 4 more left. And I think this one is the one that's going to get most of the action, basically. So let's take a look at this one and let's follow it just for a bit, or well, until it completes its route. And I think this route is gonna work really, really well. Let's take a look at it really quick to see how well this tramline number 2 is doing. Definitely better than the other one. This might be the one that actually needs an extra vehicle, but I think for now we're fine. Again, it's being mostly used for people that are doing short distances. And honestly, if I hadn't, of course, checked on this, but if it's only going to be 15 trams, then definitely this will only mostly be used in this area. So all of these trams, we might have to change these into buses. We'll see. Again, we'll see. We still have the to unlock the subway. We can do that really quick before we finish this episode, and maybe we'll see what we can do with the with this, right? Of course, we need to do the subway yard and all that, and it all depends, right? It all depends. I still think that for a city that's less, that maybe 500,000 people, having a subway is a little bit too much, and I think that the trams should be enough, right? Before we finish, as you can see here, this nice little neighborhood ended up being really nice. So let's finish adding that here, and in here. And as you can see, that's working really nice. So let's add just whatever else we're missing in this area. And that's looking rather nice. This one has 4 households, 3, 4. So that's mostly 3 and 4, which is really nice. And hopefully people complaining about the high rent can deal with it in terms of getting here. We actually, this filled out really nice. Right, finally all the way. And I think we should do something similar that we did here, and maybe even use these alley streets. Again, back in City Skylines 1, I like to use the dirt roads to do subdivisions and then upgrade them to the roads that had the bike lanes. Of course, we don't have bikes in here, unfortunately. Hopefully sooner rather than later. And so that's something that we need to figure out. Let's make sure that we don't have any loans outstanding. We do. So let's pay this already, right? Let's get over with the debt, and that way we are free and clear of any loan interests. So I hope you enjoyed our first entry into the trams. More public transportation, which is always a good thing. And if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please make sure to leave them in the comment section. Thank you for watching and liking this video and subscribing to my channel. Until our next episode. Thank you. Take care.